Good morning, good morning. For real, welcome to Coffee and Create. I promise I will do my best not to click the wrong button this time. How are you today? I'm Diane Pruitt. We are live at Two Girls Treasure. Let me make sure that we have hit the Facebook and that we are live where we want to be. Here we are. Are we live? Can you see me? Good morning. Do you remember we did this blend on the Rethunk Junk main page a couple of weeks ago? And then we came back Tuesday morning, not last week, but the week before, and laid that Wander transfer set into this beautiful dresser chest. So cute. I did the green on top. I'll flip over so you can see that on the other camera because I had to do a custom blend in order to get just the right shade of green. Let me show you that. Isn't that beautiful? And doesn't that work so well? I was going to use the stain top, but I ended up thinking when I got ready to tape this off to do the stain top so it didn't drip down, I fell in love with the color of the tape. I know that sounds crazy. It's the Green Painter's tape, but I loved it. So I mixed up a little blend of eucalyptus and marigold and made it my own. Now this is absolutely beautiful. I'm working on the hardware. I've got a challenge there because the hardware I'm using are glass trumpet flowers, and they're vintage and they're used and they came apart. Someone tried to glue this one clearly previously. It didn't work out. This is why you don't use Gorilla Glue. It doesn't hold. So I have a couple of ideas about this. I'm still gonna be one knob short. This needs 8. Of course I only have 7. But I could take these, mix up some clear resin with some polycolor metallics and pour my own centers, and then they won't come out. I could do that, but I still need one more of these beautiful green glass trumpet flower knobs. So I'll see what I can come up with. In the meantime, we have a nightstand that I did in a blend that kind of coordinates with this. So now I have a chest, I have a nightstand, but I don't have a bed. When Mel clicks in, she's gonna kill me because we had already picked out a project for today. It involved an old Lane cedar chest, super cute construction, ugly, faded, scratched up olive green finish. It really needed to be updated. So our plan, the best laid plans, was to use putty and the grisaille inlay. And we moved some pieces of furniture yesterday and found this bed. Headboard, footboard. I have a set of wooden bed rails. Good morning, Nancy. And they don't match anything, and it's dry and it's plain and it's ugly, and it looks like it could match this and it could match the nightstand. And I thought, why not? If I do this today, we'll have an entire bedroom suit for you to buy this weekend at the Spring Plant and Flower Festival, because that starts on Thursday. But this is today, and I think this would be amazing to match. So let me show you, once you've already done a blend, how you can match it and make it amazing. Let's scoot this out of the way because we don't want to wreck it. It's fantastic. And Let's get you in just a little bit closer. Riding on the edge right there, huh? Let's get you in a little bit closer on this headboard. Shoop. Oh, definitely not what I was going for. What the world? Let me. Come on now. Ha! Now, I've never experienced this screen before. And that is definitely, shoo, not where we want to be. Let's see. I really need to go back to my screen. But I'm not going to get it, so let me make sure of where I am. Boy, when you lose yourself in the moment, that's hysterical. Nope, it's just frozen up, isn't it? Okay. Lord of mercy, how'd this happen? Bear with me, y'all. Can you still hear me? Let's do that. Can you hear me at all? Lord of mercy, how'd this happen? Oh, yeah. All right, we have sound. What we don't have is the visual. And that's because somehow I clicked the screen and I got off my switcher. And I don't know how. There we go. Shoo! Ta-da! Through the magic of technology, I too can be an idiot frequently. I just pushed the wrong button. I really didn't mean to either. Let's get this started so we don't run out of time. First things first, this is a little bit dry. I always show you the prep. I know there are people who say, once you've seen prep, you don't need to see it again. But you know what? I'm just starting this morning, so if I don't prep this, I'm doing it wrong. And if I tell you to prep and I don't prep, I'm doing it wrong. So let me spray this. Because it's so dry, you know I'm going to use my Scotch-Brite. And I'm just going to knock the top edge off. I mean, this finish is just wiping off. It's not perfectly smooth. You can see some little spots right here. But I can take, it's so dry, I can take my Scotch-Brite and just knock that off. And if I go up and down, it takes it all off. I'll do this because I want it all to blend well. I have all my colors. Not sure that I shook everything up real well, but I've been using them a lot throughout the weekend, so I think we'll be okay. And yes, once I Scotch-Brite, I prep again. Now, if you sand something and you don't really clean it well, and I count my Scotch-Brite as sanding, if you don't clean it really well before you start painting, you're gonna have that grit in your paint, and what you're gonna have when you finish is a grainy, gritty, rough surface. So as many times as you've seen someone prep a piece of furniture, I continue to show you every time, because it's really important that you understand whether you sand something or whether you use your Scotch-Brite or whether you just prep it and go. If you have any dirt, dust, or sanding particles on here when you start painting, that's gonna involve itself in your product, And when you're finished, your impurities, your dust, your dirt, your sanding residue rises to the top, and you get a gritty finished surface. So if you sand, if you Scotch-Brite, prep it again. Maybe even prep it twice. You want to ensure that when you finish your project, you have a fantastic surface to go to. And if you don't clean it well, then what you're going to have is a gritty surface. I'm going to tip this down so you can see this happen. Let me make sure I don't knock it over. Okay, and I'll put it on the dual view so I'm not just in the way. I hate to show you my back while I'm working, but this is going to warrant that. All right, I have my cup of water. I have a damp rag. I have my Rolly cart with all my colors. We're using Wildberry, Flamingo, Coral Crush, and Sunflower. Let's get to it. This is a great combination of products. I'm going to shake my Wildberry really well, and I'm going to pray that it's going to crack open first turn. I love it. We started at the very top with Wildberry, and I'm going to go ahead and take my wide angle brush. I'm going to spritz my bristles just so they're nice and damp. I'm also going to give this a little spritz. This wood is really dry. So dry, y'all, that the surface is just giving way as I wipe it. Wildberry on the top. We're going to make this look just like the chest. So we'll do the sides. We'll come across the front. I spilled paint, but I didn't get it on my new white sneaks. Now, if you're my age, you remember we always wore white sneakers. And you remember we always got them dirty. And to keep them clean, get them clean again, we always used white shoe polish, right? I'm going to use my Rethunk Junk paint when it's time to paint these shoes. I might even tie-dye them. I have on my Rethunk Junk tie-dyed t-shirt under my tie-dyed hoodie this morning. I'm just going to come in a little bit deep. That'll give me the area to blend when I get the Flamingo on here with the Wildberry. Just a little extra. I'm not worried about cut lines right this minute. I am coming down the side so that the sides match as well. All right, there's our first. I'm going to put this in the water, and let's crack open our Flamingo. Have you ever done a project that you wanted to match, but you were afraid that you wouldn't be able to match it because it had been a while since you'd done the project? Don't be afraid of it. Just get your colors out and do it again. You did it the first time. You can do it the second time. And your Rethunk Junk paints are extraordinarily forgiving. I'm going to spritz this. I love painting a wide surface. It makes me feel like I'm really getting into the artistry, even when I'm not. Even when I'm just painting a piece of furniture. But it's art furniture, y'all. And this makes it look so good. All right, we're gonna take that cut line, we're gonna blend that right there, okay? Come on across. And just work it together gently. I'll have to use another Wander transfer set. I'm okay with that. I also brought out my peony stamps because there's, I think I want to do an impression in this. As the paint dries, I think I want to impress my peony stamp into the damp paint and just have a little background. What do you think of that? Just a gentle blend, it's drying just a little bit. Now I don't have as much surface with this bed as I did with the dresser. So I've got to be conscious of where I'm putting my paint, because I don't want to run out of room before I run out of my colors. I'm going to save that brush. And next is Coral Crush. Oh, it's going to be the one that's not going to crack open. There we go. There we go. All right, I'm going to get out my... Boy, I wish I had one of my other 2-inch brushes in my hand. Ooh, I see one. Let me grab this brush, because I would feel much better on this great big surface. There we go. This is exactly what I was looking for. My paint brushes were hiding from me. I want to use my 3-inch. I like these brushes. They do a great job. But it'll help me get the paint on the headboard. And these blend really well. They actually do. So I'm going to get the Coral Crush on here. I'm going to run it. There's a little lip edge right here. So I'm going to run it across there. Good morning, y'all. How are you? And I can't really, I guess I could see if I put my glasses on. Hey, Jamie. Good morning, Nancy. Thank you. Alice, I'm so glad you're here. I wish you could come to the flower show. Arizona's not that far away. You could come. I'd love to see you. That'd be like me going to Arizona. That's such a stretch of the imagination, isn't it? All right, got this on, got enough, got it dampened. Now I'm gonna set this one down and I'm gonna grab my Wooster, and I've got my Flamingo on it already where I blended the wild berry and the flamingo in, and I'm just gonna blend one more time right here. Flamingo into Coral Crush, and I'm actually gonna put just a little bit more flamingo on my brush because I want the tone of the flamingo going into the Coral Crush just a little softer, and just work it back and forth. You don't have to work it hard. Make sure you keep it damp. And just work it together so that you don't have a harsh cut line, so that you don't have specific definition of where the color stops and starts. I'll probably take a smaller brush to hit these sides and blend them well so that I don't have different shaped blend lines right there. Let me take, I'm going to take my 1-inch. You see my 1-inch? I love these brushes. I'm going to take this, maybe this is my 1/2 inch. All right, I'm going to take this on the side, and I'm going to use this to blend my edges gently, because I don't want a different line here on my edge. I want it to all be cohesive. That way I can bring my Coral Crush on around. I can bring my flamingo in, And once this starts to dry, the Rethunk Junk paint will level itself out. I don't need to worry about this so much, but I want my color blends to match what's on the headboard on the main surface. And remember, if you finish and it's not exactly what you like, what you want, then all you need to do is just wait for it to dry and do it again. We've got a guest at the door, but we're not open until 10. So I can't open the door right now because I am full on painting. Remember, typically Two Girls Treasure is open Tuesday through Saturday from 10 till 6. This week we're going to have special hours for the flower show. We will open with the flower show at 8 a.m. every day, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Sunday is 10 till 4. So Preacher Dawn, I'm going to miss you again this week, but I promise to say some extra prayers and stay close to God this week. The devil's been trying us all. That's going to work out well. And our final color at the bottom edge is going to be our sunflower. And I love my sunflower. Now, I'm close enough to the bottom edge that I'm going to have smaller areas to work with. So I'm going to go with my smaller brush. This is my 1-inch Black Hawk, Blue Hawk. I always call it a Black Hawk. I always think about the helicopters. All right, stirred up. I'm going to put the pillow down because I don't have my little knee pad, and this makes it nicer on the floor. All right, I'm going to spritz this just a little bit because I noticed when I put the Coral Crush on that it pulled just a little bit too much. I'm getting you motivated. Oh, you did. Oh, Jamie, I'm so excited. Listen, you can do this, Jamie. I know you can. All right, we're gonna put some yellow on, our sunflower yellow. We're gonna bring this on down to the bottom because we want this to look just like that, right? How am I doing so far? Blends are very forgiving, so don't worry if you're not finishing your projects, plural, at the exact same time. Give yourself a little bit of a break. You can match this. You can. It doesn't have to be done in the same day. You just have to remember the process that you went with, the colors that you used, and have enough faith in what you're doing that you just do it again, just like this. All right. One more time with the yellow right across the top of that Coral Crush. I'm going to blend it down on this surface. Looks like I'm going to need a little bit more sunflower. This is the lightest color of all of these, and I may need to just give it a minute to soak in and put a little bit more on this. This wood is beautiful, old, and dry. So we'll give it just a sec to live its best life. There we go. And the legs on this side. This has some neat straight legs with just a little bow in it right here, just a little extra right here on this edge. It's an old waterfall piece, and I love waterfall furniture. Waterfall furniture, just FYI, random, useless, vintage furniture info. Waterfall furniture was built from the 20s to the 50s, and it was designed to be affordable. So some of it was not made with the most expensive wood. Some of it was made with veneers. This particular piece appears to be solid. And the veneers were designed so you had all kinds of different amazing patterns. And they were beautiful patterns. Now I'm going to put a little bit more sunflower, and then I'm going to grab my blending brush and I'm going to put a little bit more of the Coral Crush on, and I'll blend the Coral Crush to the sunflower. There we go. All right. There we go. Now let me grab my Coral Crush, and I'm gonna grab the same blending brush. No, I probably won't. I'm gonna grab my Blue Hawk. I'm gonna grab my Blue Hawk like this. It's nice and soft. Little bit of spritz, and I'm going to come right across this edge right here. We're going to blend that Coral Crush down into the sunflower. Now here's the part that I find challenging, is coming down off that edge and into this space without absorbing too much of that beautiful light yellow. But I think that's okay right there. That's a nice gentle blend. I like that. A little bit right there. I may need some more, but I think it's okay. I think it's okay right now. It's starting to drag, missed it a little. Give it just a little spritzer. There we go. As long as you keep the paint damp, not wet, not dripping, but as long as you keep the paint damp, you can continue to play with it and move it around. And you don't want to blend harshly. Don't push your brush in, glide your brush across it. Let it glide like it's on ice, because really, that's what you're creating, is just a gentle movement of color. Chris, good morning. I'm glad you're here too. What do you think? This is pretty close to this, isn't it? And I love this combination of colors. It feels so warm, so summer breeze, doesn't it? And this is going to look so amazing with the Wander Transfer set on it, just like the dresser. And I can't wait to see it put together. I probably better turn my fan on and get some dry time on here. You know, there's just a couple of spots right here from the transition of Flamingo into Coral Crush that I may want to address and soften that line just a little bit. I may even want to bring the Coral Crush down just a little bit further into that sunflower. But overall, I like the way this went together. I think it blended nicely. I've got a little bit of lines to work with on the edges over here. Nothing that I can't work through. Here we go. Oh, that made a nice little color blend right there. And let's hit this side and make a nice little color blend right here. You can always go back and do a project again. You can replicate your work. You know the colors you used. You know the process you work with. And you can do this. Now, I think I may need to put a little bit more wild berry on top, and that'll probably help with that blend right there with that flamingo. So I'll put a little more wild berry, blend it with the flamingo. I can touch the Coral Crush into the sunflower. We're at 9:35. Do you want to do a peony impression in it as badly as I do? Let's take a look at doing this. So I love to impress into wet paint. You don't want it really, really wet. You just want enough of it wet. So I'm going to take the cover off this, and I love these smaller pieces because we're only going for subtlety. We're not going for harsh. We want this subtle. So let me bring it back to a solo view right here. And let me bring it in much as I can. I think I've got you in as much as I can. I think that's all. There we go. That's all I'm going to get right there. Glasses are helpful. Let's see. We have so many projects going on right now. Let me do it like this. There we go. Oh, that's way on in there. Good deal. Let me turn the camera up just a little bit. Okay, and get my hand out of the way and the color will come back. While this is damp, the key is to keep your stamp damp. So spritz it just a little bit. That prevents it from sticking, because if it sticks, instead of getting the impression of the stamp, you're going to get a mush. And let's just lay this gently into the wet paint. It's damp, it's tacky, it's drying, but it's enough that you can lay that impression in. And what will this do? I'm glad you asked. When we put the Wander Transfer over, we'll just have a little ghost effect of the peony stamp right there in the paint. Let's do it again down here in the Coral Crush, where it's still damp, it's tacky, and as it dries, you'll just get a little ghost effect. This may not show once you put your mattresses on, but it's just enough. Now let me show you what happened. You see the dark lines? That's not ink. That's where it wasn't damp enough and it pulled the paint off just enough that you can see the wood grain. That's why it has to be damp paint, and it has to be a damp stamp. So I will dust the paint off this, and we'll set this one aside. Let me grab one of the other pieces. Let's go with a big one. I do love the little ones though. But let's grab this giant piece of stamp. This is from the peonies. I'm going to keep walking back and forth in front of you. And I'll tell you, I'm going to mist right here. And I'm going to mist my stamp. And I've got just a little bit of tacky paint right there. So I'm going to lay this in. And I'm just going to follow the lines of relief in the stand. Now this is different than the chest of drawers, but it's okay. This is going to be much bigger than the chest of drawers. So if you have one surface that the transfer set fits on perfectly, and you have another surface that is a completely different shape, you've got to be a little creative about filling that space in to make sure you have a really cohesive look between the two of them. That didn't give me a lot of impression. It gave me just a little bit. I'm going to tamp the water off. This one might not have taken. I might have to do a little bit more paint. But I'll have to put some more yellow in here anyway. But it's looking good. Hey, Linda, how are you? Yeah, you've got to find just that right time where the paint is not too wet and where it's not too dry, and it makes sense, and it will let you, it'll let you make that impression into the paint. So I'll work on that just a little bit more this morning, and when I get finished, this headboard is going to match this chest. Let's pull it around and see how close I am. What do you think? That's going to be pretty neat, isn't it? I love it. I might even have to cap the top in that custom green color. I love that custom green color. That's a really cute finish. I'll bring you back up. It's only 9:40. I get that. I know we still have time to play around and do some things, but it is the flower show Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Special operating hours. We will be open from 8 a.m. until 6 p.m. Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Sunday will be open from 10 till 4. So make sure you join us because it's the spring and it's the flower show, but it is our 9th anniversary. I'm so humbled and I am so thankful to every one of you who have continued to support us through all the insanity of the shutdowns, through all of the insanity of the reopens. Good morning, Char. I'm so thankful and grateful to you. So, as a show of our support for you, not only can you get discounts on all the products that we're using for Coffee and Create, remember your coupon code is SPRING. And when you use that coupon code to check out online or in store, you will receive a discount on the Coffee and Create collection products. If you're in store or online, you'll receive a free with purchase gift with your purchase of your Coffee and Create collection products. Thank you so much. I love you so much, Linda. Thank you. I don't know what I would do without you and Joe in my life. Y'all are precious friends. Thank you. But when you shop the Spring Flower Show, make sure you grab one of the flyers when you come in the door. Mel's creating them today and tomorrow. She'll have them available, and Charlotte will help pass them out. But you grab that flyer, you see what our special offers in store are, and with special purchases, you'll receive special gift cards. It's our 9th anniversary. We want to share with you up to $100 in gift card savings, Charlotte. Charlotte didn't know that. She stopped eating right that second because she didn't know that yet. She wasn't ready for that kind of money to be given away. But we're going to give to you because you've given so much to us in 9 years. I'm going to continue to work on this headboard. We're going to have the complete bedroom suit. What a perfect bedroom suit for your spare room, your cabin, your beach house, or your own home if you just want to make it happy and warm and flowery, just like the Petey State Farmers Market Spring Plant and Flower Festival. We will be right here and looking forward to seeing you. If you have any questions, make sure you message. Make sure you click that share button and let all of your creative friends and family see how easy it is to blend and match with our Wreath on Junk paint products. I thank you so much for being here. I will look forward to seeing you again real soon, right here at Two Girls Treasure. I'm Diane Pruitt. Y'all have an amazing day. There's our train.